Let's do a morning review, Friday 20th of May 2022, starting with the DAX. After two strong bear days, it had recovered yesterday. It went down and then closed up, so can be considered as a bull close. Yeah, it was a bull candle, and so it is continuing. It started from over here. So you have your first pullback here actually, and then you have your second pullback, and then you have a third pullback, and then you have your fourth pullback. But this is probably not a pullback. We can call this a pullback. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously around here I wasn't going to take it because I can clearly see that the first question is there an impulsive breakout? For example, what we have over here. Would I take this signal? No. I don't see an impulse breakout unless I'm going with some other information, stuff like it's hit the previous highs, is it going to go down, blah blah blah, right? If that level, and then I could go short here, but then where would I put my stop loss? If I go short anywhere here, my stop loss would have to be up there because that's where I would be proven wrong. And if I saw that, it's easy to see in hindsight, but from that point of view I could have gone short here, but no, we wait for the breakout. When this happens, so around here I would be very keen to actually get a signal. So if there was a seed signal, I would have taken it. If there was a pullback, I would have taken it. Around here, even this, if this was a seed, I would have taken it. If there was a pullback, I would have taken it. Then it goes all the way down. If there was a pullback here, I probably wouldn't have taken it because then it's moved that much, right? I'll give you an example of this on Swizzy. That happened yesterday. Some people would have taken this and it would have hit 2R and 3R. I know one person who's hit it, but I would take this only if I have taken this one here and taken a 3R, then probably I would take this for 2R. I did not take this one because if you look at that, well, yesterday I wasn't looking at Swizzy first of all, but if you bring it here, you see it's kind of channeling. You can even call it a tilted range. And then so from this I would need a breakout. Now it did do a breakout, but by this time it had gone 100 pips, and then if you count the two, that's 230. So that's one push and pull back, another push. I wasn't keen on it. It worked pretty nicely. So today now it's a trading range and it's breaking out. So if it breaks out here and then pulls back, who knows, we can do it. But it's Friday, not much time left. Okay, let's go to the UK 100. So yesterday there was this beautiful signal. Now would I take this one? I would, because this is the second day play. So there's one setup where you wait for some kind of a trading range and then a breakout, and then you see that you want to wait for a signal over here, which didn't happen. And then there's the second day play, in which you have the first day is extremely bullish or extremely bearish, the way it is now. And then when you wake up and you start looking at the chart at say Frankfurt Open, European Open or London Open, and you see that price has not pulled back too much. So in this case, if I put the fib expansion here, you'd see that it's kind of pulled back around 25%. So that means that the bears are still strong and bulls have not taken over. And you get a signal anywhere here. Even number 4 was still valid because the low of it was not broken. The high of it was broken, so probably invalid. But then we have this seed here, which could have been taken, and it went. I wouldn't be taking 8R, but 5R is my usual target, so 5R would be there. And then, even though this is a very strong move, but it wasn't really a strong or a very strong bear day, because you know there was a recovery. So when you look at it next day, things have changed. So suppose when I come and look at it here, it's actually recovered all the way from that. So then I look at the price, where did it start from? So if I'm looking at this signal, right, if I'm doing my scanning, there's a signal and I want to analyze the signal. Here's the signal. The question is, where's the impulse move? The impulse move is probably this one, and then there's a pause. So that's a signal. It goes, it kind of fails, and then you have a pullback. So you're asking for too much. So if I am not taking signal like this, which is so obvious, I'm obviously not going to take signal like these, because here you have the first push, first pullback, and you have the second pullback, low is broken, then you have the third pullback, and then you have the fourth pullback. So I'm not going to take this. Same situation. But so the Nasdaq, we have seen a strong down, small pullback, another 3-hour trade here. This is a Waltz seed. We have a trend candle, almost a trend candle. But before that, you could have taken the 4 as well. If you looked at the chart at Frankfurt Open, you could have used the low of this signal to get in using a limit sell, and then stop loss up there. That would have hit a 3-hour as well. And then you have a seed signal. So when we look at the chart today, we can see that it's actually done a recovery, and then this price is choppy. So price is going sideways. It's kind of like a triangle trading range. So we want it to break out, and then if it pulls back, we could take a signal there. Same situation for the US 30. Then we have the pound dollar. So the pound dollar went down. When it was going down, it wasn't going down very, very strong. And then it pulled back. It did a double bottom here, then breaks out. I saw this signal, but this impulse was not good enough for me. Now when I look at it, because I was short from here, I think that I had a different bias on this, and then I couldn't take it. I should have taken this signal. I just didn't take it. If you look at this one, your target was, yeah, I know why I didn't take this one now, I know. When I was taking this signal and I plotted this, I found out that there were levels to the left, and this was only going to give me 2R. I want 3R. In this case, it hit 3R, but 3R was slightly out of the... so I was a little bit cautious. I should have taken this. The pound yen is literally going sideways. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 trading range highs, and so this is a trading range. Trading range does, perfection doesn't exist in the market, so not everything is going to be perfect. If you look at this, we have 2 low here, then we have another higher low, but this is a trading range. So what we want is that if there's a clear breakout and then a pullback, then we will probably trade it. Euro dollar, I saw this signal earlier and I asked the question, should I be trading it? And the answer was no. It was simply because the seed was not really a seed. Sometimes when you see a seed signal and the candle itself is actually a bear candle, I won't take it. The seed should be kind of a doji. The open and high, you know, the open and close should be closer. It shouldn't be covering the entire range of the previous bull candle. So like if the seed was, the low was over here, then it will be a good seed. Anyway, this was not a setup. Euro yen, exactly like the pound yen, going sideways in a trading range. So we want to stay away from this one. Dollar yen, there was a signal here. Again, as you can see, the signal is quite bullish. So if you wanted to take the trade, you had to actually sell here and then have a 15 or 20 stop loss. And that way you could have done something. But by the time it hits your pending order, it's already gone 40 pips. So that's a lot of movement for price to do before it even just hits your entry. So then you'll have to go another 120 pips in your favor to give you a 3R. That's not going to work. So for that reason, we filter this. Dollar CAD going sideways, not really momentous. So on the daily, it's probably changing gears now. It's into a bear formation. The moving averages have crossed over and now it's going down. So we'll see what happens. Australian dollar, again, this is also a bear market, and it's a bear channel going on at the moment. So it's kind of moved between the channel low and high. So is it going to continue going down, or is it going to you know, turn into a bull trend at some point? There was a signal here. This signal I wouldn't take because it's too big. Again, if you have a 40-point signal, that means you have to move 120 points just to give you 3R. So no, thank you. But alternatively for that, New Zealand dollar had a signal yesterday on this, and if you took the whole range of it, the signal is very big. It's more than 20. I wouldn't take that. I took it with a 20 stop loss over here, so that worked. but Emma took it with a 30, and I think hers also worked. Not a 30, sorry. I mean a full candle stop loss, 25. So hers also probably have worked. And now we can see the price then pulled back and came back to it and hit those levels. So I'm contemplating whether will I take this signal here. If there is a signal, probably not, because of these wicks and this rejection of the highs. So I'm going to leave this alone, and that's it.